Hey guys, it's been a little over a year since I've had the lightning bug, and I was fixing to shoot some videos for this weekend. Then, as I was getting the car ready, we had a major malfunction. So let me show it to you. And here's where the major malfunction occurred. And yes, the burn mark in my driveway was made with that rear tire, which is kind of impressive for an electric car just because of the weight of the batteries that it has, and it was still able to burn rubber. But which in other times would be cool, but not in a major malfunction like what we just had. So let's take a look. Now what I've got to do is move the car forward just a little bit so I can lift the back hood, and I'll show you what I found. So here we go. The major malfunction that I had involved the controller, because I turned the key on the other day and tried to move the car, and I started out really slow like I always do, but for some reason the controller started sending 100% power to this motor, and which is something it's never supposed to do. And I got the car stopped the first time, and I tried the key one more time, and I had 100% power the second time. And when I got the car stopped the second time, I realized that we had smoke coming up, and it's really not hard to see where all the smokage occurred. You can see all the burn marks. At least all the electrical connections were tight. It's just the malfunction was, it appears, inside of the controller. So now what I gotta do is determine exactly the cause, which I think I know the cause. And what I need to do is remove this controller and see if my theory is correct. So what I need to do now is start breaking everything down and removing that controller. But one thing I want to do here first, before I do anything, is show y'all how this car works. That way you can understand for yourself my reasoning as to what I think happened. And see, I'm going to run through it real quick. Now, when I turn the key on, the first thing that happens is there's a contactor inside of there. It's, it's a giant relay, and when I turn the key on, it closes that relay. It starts sending the 144 volts out here, which the batteries are unhooked, so right now everything's safe for me to touch. But when I turn the key on, it energizes this hot wire, and when it does that, you can see it's connected to the motor. Then it's also connected to that controller right there, and so that controller has the positive, and it also has this wire here in the back goes straight to the negative on the battery, on the last battery. And the way this controller controls this motor, is this wire right here. It completes the negative side of this motor, which tells it what speed to turn. And what I think happened, and I've been to some forums online for this controller, and this aluminum casing, you would think, if you're building this, the aluminum casing would be isolated from the internal circuitry or circuit boards inside this controller. But after going to some online places, I find out that it's not. And see, if it did short out with the aluminum casing, if the circuit board inside did short out with aluminum casing, then that would explain why I got 100% power to this motor, which is something that's by the design of that controller is never supposed to happen, and would explain why, you know, the car took off like it did. So what I'm going to do now is start breaking everything down and see if my theory is correct. Back in a minute. Alright, I've got all the cables taken loose. Now it's time to start unbolting the controller from the firewall. So let's go.